Welcome everybody, I'm Drekken and I'm joined here with Fourcourtjester and we're going to do a little bit discussion about Heroes of the Storm. Hello sir, how are you?
Good morning, Drek. Always a pleasure.
Ah, excellent. So, Heroes of the Storm, let's talk about it right now. Competitive game or Sleeping Giant? What do you think?
Really, it comes down to an opinion split in two, half and half are saying, yeah, no, this is going to be a game that goes far, and the other half's like, nah, it's a game for casuals. So it really kind of comes down to who you talk to. My personal opinion here is that I think it's more towards the Sleeping Giant. It is currently in tech alpha at the time of this recording, but we have had an announcement for BlizzCon for there to be a tournament. Now, past that, no other details, but we are going to see some ramping up hopefully this summer, this fall, and try to get some more new blood into it, try to get out a stable version. And from there, I mean, the trend of MOBAs has always been, Dota had immense amount of things to learn, a lot of mechanics, a lot of characters, a lot of things to do. It was great. League of Legends comes out, they slim it down, you do less, but at the same time you do more. It gets immensely popular. Same idea here, Heroes of the Storm. We're again trimming out the fat and we're keeping it lean. And from there, again, I really do think it will have a competitive scene.
So here's my thoughts now. I'm only level 13 and you are level 40, right? So you've put some hours into the game.
Yeah.
When I'm thinking about it, like, yes, slimming down the fat. You say the word slimming down the fat, and I feel and I'm worried that they've removed too much. They've removed a lot of those mechanics that really make that skill level where you see sort of ramping up to high-level abilities or high-level plays or strategies. Like, it's a very simple game, and that's what I like about it. I love it that it's very simple, very easy. The mechanics are very easy, but I worry that the depth of the game is very shallow. Do you find that?
Well, that is the second opinion, the one where it says, nah, this is a game for casuals, because yes, we are missing more of those traditional mechanics. It's almost harder to call this a traditional MOBA. I mean, the word brawler comes up quite a bit, and brawlers, anytime I hear the word brawler, I think along the lines of more Super Smash Brothers, right? You have all your heroes and you're just pounding on each other. It's very similar mindset going into Heroes of the Storm, and the reasoning that Blizzard has done this is, again, they've reduced the mechanics because they don't see those other mechanics as fun. Are they skillful? Do they take a while? Does it shape the flow of the game? Absolutely. But are they necessarily fun? And a lot of people have been playing these, quote, non-fun mechanics for a long time. So of course there's going to be some resistance to it in the beginning. But overall, it will come down to a popular opinion of when it's out of alpha and a lot more people can start playing it. Is it too easy? Is it too dumbed down?
Yeah, you know what? I like that you sort of brought up the Brawler and Super Smash Bros. Because, Brawl and Melee are games that are simple, but they can be deep. But when I'm playing this game and I find that the mechanics to strategy are obviously, the actual strategy comes down to the mechanics, right? The actual mechanics and objectives and being able to control that, and then you have your hero talents, right? And I guess that's where we're going to see the variation, or I'd like to say the creativity in teams, is when they devise certain combinations of heroes and certain combination of talents. But is that deep enough? That's what I'm wondering. Like, will we see some really amazing plays of people using maybe all supports or all tanky or all warriors? Is that a thing, or are we limited to just the standard, sort of a standard level of champions?
There's going to be a few different factors for that, but it's funny you bring up all supports, because I have watched videos and streams of all support teams absolutely just wrecking face. It's like a glacier, it's slow, it's massive, but you can't stop it. And they played the slow game and they win. There's not a lot of damage, but they have a lot of sustainability, and we have seen that now actually in the alpha itself. Now, coming out to release, will that get tweaked? They're always tweaking out these heroes. We do have a patch every few weeks. We also now introduce new blood into the game every now and then, but it will come down to the community. Does the community see enough replayability in a game with fewer mechanics in order to keep it going, to keep it alive, and ultimately to make their own competitive scene? Because every game, it doesn't matter what game it is, there's always going to be competitive players, but the size of that community is going to be definitely very community dependent. So I'm definitely of the opinion that I can see this game going into a competitive mindset, especially if Blizzard does throw out, some support, ESO, go for heroes. A lot of different venues are available in order to start growing that scene. But if there's too many people of the view that it is casual, it is dumbed down, and it's not fun, it's not skillful, then obviously that scene is going to suffer.
Yeah, I guess we could probably have an entire different discussion at another time about whether fun versus skillful is, and that seems like what the kind of discussion we're having now is, fun, because I find it is fun. It's very short. Like I find, at least I found that each round or each match is no more than maybe 15-20 minutes. Perhaps you had a different experience, but
I've had 40. Yeah.
You've had 40. Maybe it's because I'm a lower level, but for me, every game has lasted no more than maximum 20 minutes. And that's probably because I'm just doing like solo queue or just randoms, right? Total pubs, and the skill level isn't at the same as maybe arranged or pre-arranged teams. So
any team-based game, you put solo queues together and expect a miracle. I mean, yeah, sure, it happens every now and then, but you have definitely a much more tight-knit group. All 5 of you going in with voice chat. You're familiar with each other's habits. You can, you're very comfortable with each other. There's clearly going to be a difference there. So my 40-minute game, was basically 2 5-man teams, both of them on the various respective voice chats, and we were duking it out pretty hard. I mean, hundreds of kills, I think, total in that game.
Okay, so here's probably the last question of this introduction. What element do you find is the thing that most influences the competitive strategy of the game?
Timing.
Timing?
Timing.
I did not expect you to say that. So what do you mean timing? So like being prepared for the pushing the mercenaries, or are we talking about
a big mechanic of these maps, and something that again is separating Heroes of the Storm from other traditional MOBAs, is that there are different maps. And the maps, I'm going to use League of Legends as an example, is closer to the playstyle of Dominion rather than Summoner's Rift.
Mm-hmm.
And in terms of, you have an objective, you are striving towards it, but there's this in-game timer mechanic that is pushing along the game to make sure that it doesn't stale out. Dota, League of Legends, you can definitely have slugfests, turtlefests, games that are going on and on and on, 90, 100, 110 minutes, right? Dota can really, really extend that. Heroes of the Storm is not meant to be played like that. It's not developed to be like that. As you said, less than 20 minutes. I've had 7-minute wins. The longest game I've had is 40, but those are few and far between because the timing mechanics of the game is always pushing for the next objective. So a big part of the strategy of this game is positioning yourself for the objectives, knowing the timers, and knowing when to push, when to back off, when to hit the jungle, when to hit the objectives, when to go for team fights, when to defend. I mean, it's a little bit of a different skill set to that of the other MOBAs, other brawlers, and I think that a lot of people just haven't really clicked into that yet.
So thanks a lot, Sean, for coming here and giving us some insight on Heroes in the Storm. If you guys want to see more of Heroes of the Storm or other competitive games, join us on ESChamp.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube, our Twitch, our Twitter, and our Facebook. All ESChamp. All right, we'll catch you next time, guys.